Go and grab your Bewear merchandise today. There are t-shirts, sweatshirts, phone cases, and more, all with the link down in the description below. You do not want to miss out. What's up, guys? It's Carson back here on Toxic Gaming with Week 5 of the MPL. Yes, that you heard that right. The MPL Major Pokemon League. The Chicago Bewears, we got back into a different league because we were asked to come in. They had a lot of people drop out. They're like, hey, would you be willing to pick up this team? You can make some changes as much to this draft as you want, but we need somebody to come in, and can you come in and do it? I said, sure, why the hell not? This is going to be the Week 5 match. We still have Weeks 3 and 4 that the person before us wasn't battling or didn't have time to do, so those will be coming later. We just wanted to start at Week 5 and then be able to keep going throughout the league a normal schedule first. And then Weeks 3 and 4 will come as we can. But on screen now, you will see the draft that we have of tornadus-t, Heatran, which is one of our Z-movers, Buzzwole, Tangrowth, Kyurem, regular Kyurem, and a Z-mover as well, Politoed, Reuniclus, Nidoking, Vikavolt, Kabutops, and Gramble. And I saw this draft and I was like, you know what, I approve. I actually really do like this draft. It's a kind of a rain team. Like, everything in it can work in rain. Heatran is the only thing that probably, obviously doesn't really like to be in rain as much, being a fire type, but at the same time, it puts a lot of pressure on opposing ground types by having Politoed and Kabutops there to really abuse the rain with water moves, and then Kyurem to abuse it with ice moves and not be that afraid of fire. Buzzwole taking away a little bit of fire weakness. tornadus-t hitting hurricanes, because we're not Shroomraver, and we don't miss hurricanes. But then I really enjoyed the team, and then Vikavolt I really wanted to use. He might be one I may drop later down the line for a faster electric type, but at the moment Vikavolt's something I wanted to use. And now we can get into this Week 5 battle against Regulator. Really good battle with this one, and you can see on our team we have, just to go through it, we have the one Winged Angel, Kyurem with Steelium Z, Ice Beam, Dracometer, Flash Cannon, and Hidden Power Fire, with 132 in HP, 248 in attack, and then 128 and Timid Nature in speed. The speed is very important to the battle. I'll get more to that when we get to that part of the battle. But basically, Ice did a lot to his draft, as we can see with him having Thundy-t, Lando-t, I said Landy-t again, the Cella and the Celebi all on the same team. 3 things weak to Ice on the same team. So Kyurem is going to be a big player here. Next we have Sergeant Slaughter, our Vikavolt, with Life Orb, Bug Buzz, Thunderbolt, Hidden Power Fire, and Flash Cannon. 180 in HP, 248 in attack, and then 80 in speed. Basically, I believe we outspeed his base 50 was his lowest speed tier, and I believe it was like Hariyama and things like that. So we outspeed them by 1 point. And Vikavolt was really here to be mid-game or early game, punching holes in the opposing team. Nothing on his team really likes the combination of what he has. The best things he has to take on Vikavolt are the Thundy-t and the Lando-t. Scizor gets hit by the Hidden Power Fire, obviously Bug Buzz for Celebi, Thunderbolt for the Starmie, and then Flash Cannon as nice coverage for guess of Gardevoir switching with Bug Buzz as well. Basically, Vikavolt is here to punch holes in 4 out of the 6 members of his team, and Bug Buzz still does a decent amount to both Lando and Thundy-t. So that's what Vikavolt was here for. Next we have Airborne, or Thunderous Therian, with Assault Vest and Regenerator, with Hurricane, U-Turn, Knockoff, and Heat Wave, with 68 in HP, 228 in special attack, and then 212 with a Hasty Nature and speed. And basically, Tornadus does anything and everything to Celebi with this moveset, and I really didn't think he was going to bring Celebi to begin with, so I was like, oh, you know what, 4 moves to take on Celebi super effectively won't be that bad if he doesn't bring it. He brought it, so I'm like, okay, Tornadus is definitely our hard Celebi check. And really, with Hurricane, U-Turn, Knockoff, he's basically faster than the majority of anything that's not Scarfed on his side of the field. And we can just come in and revenge kill anything that's not Scarfed. Next, we have Viscera, a Reuniclus with Life Orb, with Trick Room, Psychic, Shadow Ball, and Focus Blast, 252 in HP, 252 modest in special attack, and then 4 in special defense. Like I was just saying, with how Airborne outspeeds everything, Reuniclus actually outslows everything on his team. I got him EV'd down, or IV'd down to be slower than even minimum speed, 0 speed base 50s that he had on his team. And basically, Reuniclus can set up a Trick Room and then just hit Psychics and Shadow Balls on pretty much everything. Trick Room really helps with Reuniclus, and then if we could have got Reuniclus, and then Vikavolt also in the Trick Room. That would have been amazing if we throw our Tangrowth, which I'll get to later in Trick Room. Again, Trick Room benefited us more than it would benefit him, and it just would be a nice overall thing we could do. Next, we have Kenny Omega. Shoutouts to Evelyn, H2O Drink It of the Herdier Bremen and Bremen Club for the nickname. This is her nickname. I'm not going to take credit for Kenny Omega's name. But Choice Scarf with Ice Beam, Sludge Wave, Thunderbolt, and Earthquake with 36 in HP, 2d2 in attack, and then 220 with a Naive Nature. The reason I went Earthquake and instead of like Earth Power is that he had the Alolan Muck as a possibility, and most Alolan Mucks I've seen, except for the one we had in the PGL, are usually a Pursuit Trapper and Assault Vest. So Earth Power wouldn't have really done much at all. And basically, it was best thing that we had Earthquake instead of Earth Power. It still hit pretty hard, and really Earth Power wasn't needed for that much ground stab for him, as he had the Thundy-T and Lando-T. So really, Kenny Omega here, he outspeeds Scarf Gardevoir by 1 point, so we outspeed pretty much everything that on his team, and then everything that's not an all base 80 Scarfers. So Nidoking was going to do really good work if he doesn't have like a Scarf Thundy, or he goes Scarf Lando. Even though his Lando is also his Z mover, he could still have brought Scarf Lando. Next we have, finally, we have 8 Train, our Tangrowth. It's Assault Vest and Regenerator as well. Good little Regenerator core between this and Airborne. With Earthquake, Hidden Power, Fire, Giga Drain, and Rock Slide, 240 in HP, 4 in attack, 36 in special attack, 204 in special defense, and a Gentle Nature. And then 24 in speed, again outspeeding other base 50s as much as we really could. But Tangrowth basically is as good of a counter as we had for his Volcarona that he had, which is a possible Z mover, and if we could bait that Volcarona in there, kill it with a Rock Slide, that would be very, very, very helpful to our team. And besides that, he's kind of the best wall at the moment we have for this team. Really, our team is a lot more heavy pressure of offense going up against him. But with that out of the way, we see that we should have a pretty good matchup here. It'll be a tough game, and we're going to get right into the battle. So we'll see you guys there. Alright, so we got the battle now going against Gregoire, challenging him and all of those things. He's sending out first his Thundy-T, and I decided, as you saw in the team preview, to send out our One-Winged Angel, Kieran, first to really put pressure on Thundy-T, and he had 3 things weak to ice, so it was a higher chance of him leading with a mon that's weak to ice than, say, the Scizor. But he immediately decides to switch out, not wanting to risk anything, and he goes into the Scizor now, and I made a turn 1 prediction. Sometimes they work, and I Hidden Power Fired the Scizor on the switch. He did show me later that he had the Focus Blast, so he honestly could have ran the risk of knocking me out turn 1 with the Focus Blast, but decided not to. I decided right now to switch out. I don't want to take a Bullet Punch into my Airborne, the Torn-T, and we see he does go for Bullet Punch, and the fact that he lived that Hidden Power Fire was really kind of surprising to me, and that he did this much with Bullet Punch. So to me, yeah, he's more of a bulkier, but still has a good high attack stat. He's more of a special bulk than physical bulk. I decided to switch out into the Vikavolt because this is really the best thing I have to go against him. He actually pulls the double going into his Gardevoir. And I'm sitting here like, you know what? I'm okay with this. Like, I'm okay seeing the Gardevoir here. I'm going to quick Flash Cannon just to see if he maybe tries to stay in and Psychic me or something Scarfy. And he decides to switch out immediately, go back into the Thundy-T, probably guessing maybe a Thunderbolt coming and just make a nil. But I end up Flash Cannoning him. Or flash cannoning him, whatever, and do about 25%, and I just decided, you know what, I really have nothing to really fear from him, so I'm just going to fire off good old Bug Buzzes, and we see with the leftovers that he's not a Scarf Thundy-T, so we do outspeed him later down the line with Scarf Nidoking as well. He Psychics me, which was a hell of a lot, and I go for the Bug Buzz, and really this thing doing probably around 45-ish%, I would say, somewhere in there, almost 50%. And from this range, we should be able to bring him down under 25% after Leftovers recovery the next turn. So I'm just going to keep firing off. Vikavolt really isn't doing much against his matchup, besides just punching holes like in this. And then he crit Psychics me, and I'm like, well, that's the game, I guess. You know, one of those things has to happen, and he does get the leftovers back and is pretty much back to half health, like all really close to there. And if I would have been able to hit that next bug buzz, he would have been down under 25%. I go out into Kirim, and he still thinks I'm Scarf Kirim because he switched out. And I just fired one move and swapped out immediately. He swaps out now again, and I decided, you know what, I'm just gonna play it safe. I'm gonna quick to him Power Fire again as he goes into the Stormy this time. And I'm like, okay, I clicked in Power Fire just in case the Scizor might be like, okay, he's going to overpredict and not click it so I can bring in Scizor for free. Not today, I wouldn't have any of it. He gets a little bit of chip damage and then immediately switches back out from Starmie into Celebi. So to me, switching a Celebi in on the Kirim is ballsy as shit, and Draco would have killed the most Starmies outright if he didn't have much bulk at all, and I had no reason to switch out. So I hit the Draco, bring the Celebi below half, and lose my special attack a little bit. I could still have a roll to kill him with Ice Beam, but I decided, you know what, no, it's not roll it. Let's switch out into Airborne. The hard check to anything Celebi can really do to me, and he sets up Rocks right now, and I'm like, okay, I'm glad I got Airborne in here before Rocks. And even though it'll make me switching a little bit hesitant to do so, and I just click knockoff, guessing he would switch out. And one, the Celebi lives a knockoff. 2, he stayed in, and 3, he had the Tanga Berry, probably predicting a U-turn, and he recovered. So he probably would have lived the U-turn and then recovered up, and then I would have had to switch back in Thundurus. So I'm really glad I did not quick U-turn there. And now I'm just thinking, I'm just going to quick Heat Wave. It does everything to this and hits everything neutrally. He switches out into the Thundurus this time, and I'm just going to quick Heat Wave. Like, it's still going to do a decent chunk to this Thundurus. And if this Thundurus would have had the Bug Buzz, it would have been dead this turn. He wouldn't have had to basically have this Thundurus he would have sacked it off anyway, as he's going to later down the line, but he switches it out now, and he goes back into Celebi, and that's very confusing to me as to go back into Celebi when I just showed I had Knockoff and Heat Wave. I'm going to knock off again, even though it doesn't do that much, it's still super effective damage, and that would have killed the Thundy as well. And now I'm like, fuck it, I'm going to hit a Hurricane. And you know what? We hit Hurricanes. We're not Shroom, we don't miss. So the Celebi is gone early. All it did is set up Rocks. That's all that Celebi really did. And honestly, maybe that was all it was meant to do. But he brings out the Thundurus, or it's fucking Landorus right now. There's so many genies, I'm getting them confused. But he brings out the Landorus right now. I'm like, okay, I don't want to take a Stone Edge. I have to kind of go out into Tangrowth. It's really my best thing against him right now. With the Thundy, best thing that checks him defensively rather than offensively, and he Swords Dances. I didn't want to bring in Kirim and have him quick Rock Slide or Stone Edge Rock Slide and knock me out. I didn't want to bring in Nidoking and have him kill me with Earthquake. And we see now he is Z moving and he's Z flying. So I'm guessing it's Z fly. That makes the most sense. I'm pretty sure that's what Lando's if they do fly, the Supersonic Sky Strike. They do Z fly. And to me, I'm thinking, okay, so we saw in Swords Dance, he's now shown that he has a flying type stab, and he's Z-Crystal, so he's not Scarfed. Scarf Nidoking still does everything I need it to do at this point. So sadly, Tangrowth came in and did nothing, but I go into my Nidoking now to really, really scare him, just bait him as hard as possible to switch out. Maybe he'll show me one more move and, you know, think I'm going to switch out, but he decides to play it safe and swap out back into his Thundy, and I just went for the safest move, clicked Ice Beam. This Thundy is gone. It should have been gone on the Heat Wave from Torn without that crit, but either way, it still didn't do anything else after that point. He now goes into his Stormy, and I'm like, okay, I can't kill him with Ice Beam. He can kill me with the Water move. I ain't staying in. Like, straight up, I'm not staying in at all. So I swap out and go into my Reuniclus. Now, I believe me swapping out, and if he would have swapped, it would have shown that I was Scarfed to him, but he hits the Skull, and he does over 50% to me, and even I am Magic Guard, so the burn wouldn't have mattered, and now I decide I need a quick Trick Room. I was fearing Shadow Ball, and so when he switched out, I was like, holy shit, I just got a free Trick Room off. Him switching out into Scizor is perfectly fine, because Shadow Ball still should be able to kill Scizor at this range, and it forces him right now to go for Bullet Punch, to have even a roll to kill me. It forces him to quick Bullet Punch. And so when he does, I am actually going to live, and I'm going to get the Shadow Ball off. Really, Reuniclus setting up Trick Room and getting the Shadow Ball off to kill this thing is big. Very, very big, because this now lets me have Kirim have free reign, pretty much. He brings in the full health Lando, and I'm like, okay, he's not Scarfed, he's none of these things. I'm faster than him. I don't give a shit about Intimidate. He might set up Swords Dance again, but I'm going to quick Psychic. Do the most damage I can. If he quicks Swords Dance, I two-shot him with Psychic. If he kills me, that's fine. He kills for the Earthquake. Now, even with the Earthquake killing and stuff, Reuniclus has pretty much done his job. He's taken out the Scizor, letting Kyurem have free reign, and I have Trick Room up, so I can do something here that probably doesn't seem like the smartest move due to my prep, but I found this out during the battle, and I'm going to pause the video here in a minute. But my Kyurem, as you will see on screen, I am actually only 144 speed. I am outspeeding Adamant Lando-t, not Jolly. So really, if he is Jolly Lando-t, I am actually outslowing him, which was a huge point to have during this battle, especially this turn. So basically what that means is that he has to run the gamble, and he decides not to run the gamble and switch out and going into his Gardevoir. I believe I simply clicked Ice Beam here. It was the safest move, and if he would have ran the gamble on that and lost his Lando, that would have been a huge, huge mistake on his part. But it was a mistake on my part for not calculating it right, and I just happened to really kind of get lucky that that was what happened. And I do knock the guard down to 50%. Him switching out here shows me that this thing is scarfed. Like, there would be no other reason for him to switch out unless he is scarfed, as I still have Trick Room up. And now I decide, you know what, for the reasons that I had it, I'm going to go for the Z Flash Cannon against that, what I thought was the Gardevoir possibly still staying in, and I still had a chance to live Moonblast if he wasn't scarfed, so this was still my best play, and it will do still pretty fucking decent damage to Starmie. I mean, it is a Z move after all, even if it is a resisted Z move. But again, it does get Starmie down in very close range for Sludge Wave from Nidoking to kill it later. He goes for the Dazzling Gleam right now, and I just stay in. I'm like, you know what? He's my least expendable mon for Kyurem, and I live the Dazzling Gleam, and after Life Orb damage, Ice Beam from my Kyurem will kill him. And now I don't even have to worry about Sludge Wave having probably a roll to kill the Starmie or not. As you saw also, the Trick Room is out, so he's bringing out his Gardevoir, again, showing me this is Scarf Guard. There's no reason in hell for him to bring this thing out after like switching it around so much that I was able to have him really guessing what I was as a Kyurem, what my plans were. He goes for a Psychic, and that knocks out Kyurem. Yes, our one winged angel is gone, but you know what? He did a hell of a job right there, scaring out the Lando, and now comes in our Scarf Nidoking, and we just simply have to click Sludge Wave. We outspeed every single Scarf Gardevoir in the book, so we Sludge Wave. This thing is gone. Basically, the Gardevoir is not living that. Unless it's like max bulk Scarf Gardevoir, which would be a weird-ass set to have. He's not living that. This Lando from this range is not living a stab, sheer force boosted, what are they called, Sludge Wave, and I'm outspeeding it, so I'm just killing it. I had Torn-t in the back still, if for some reason this didn't kill and he killed my Nidoking, I had Torn-t that could come in and just pop him with literally any move on his moveset and kill him. But still, that was a good game, a 2-0 win for us. That Reuniclus Trick Room play was, I believe, the play of the game. That set up him having to play around Trick Room, playing the mind games with, is my Kyurem faster or slower than his Lando? Did I put Trick Room and then make Kyurem slower on purpose? And really, it was an accident on my own part. It was my own mistake, but it worked out. So, good game to Regulator. Check him out. Links down below. We will have more MPL battles coming. Weeks 3 and 4 will be maybe kind of sporadic as when we can actually get them done and everything. But week 6, I believe, will be next Sunday, I believe, is when these come out. If not, I'll say it in a different video when we actually have the right schedule and everything like that. But I hope you guys enjoy the battle. We are in the MPL now, and right now we have 1 win under our belt, so we're already going well. But thank you guys for coming out. I'm Carson, this is Toxic Gaming, and as always, you guys stay toxic. We'll see you guys.